For our case study, we did the Green Mountain National Forest, located in Vermont. It goes throughout the counties of Rutland, Bennington, Addison, Windsor, Windham, and Washington. The IUCN category for our protected area is a Category 6, Sustainable Area for Natural Resources. Now into the history of our protected area. In the beginning, the Abenaki tribe was the first to be there. They rounded about 40,000 members before the European colonists arrived. After they arrived, disease and war like King Philip's War in 1675 dwindled the numbers down. And by the time of the end of the American Revolution, they were down to about 1,000 and most retreated into Quebec. In 1738, Vermont's first primitive sawmill was created. In 1870, Burlington, Vermont became the largest lumber processing centers in the U.S., and that is when clear cutting of forests really started to ramp up. Fast forward to 1908, there was multiple forest fires burned over 16,000 acres of forest in the state of Vermont, which could be directed straight back to the clear cutting that happened. In 1910, however, the Green Mountain Club was created. They were to caretake the Long Trail of Vermont, which ran through multiple parts of the Green Mountain National Forest. By 1925, it was apparent that something needed to be done. The Vermont legislature agreed to a purchase of land to help establish the Green Mountain National Forest. And in 1928, the National Forest Reservation Commission authorized the formation of the Green Mountain National Forest. Finally, in 1932, President Hoover signed a declaration making the Green Mountain National Forest a real thing. It became the second national forest in the Northeast alongside the White Mountains of New Hampshire. And during the Great Depression, the Civilian Conservation Corps was created, and they became the main caretakers of the forest at this time. How it became a protected area was that it was clear that something needed to be done. Overlogging had caused fires and floods to ravage the area and destroy the landscape. President Hoover signed it into declaration in 1932 to make sure that unregulated overlogging could not happen anymore. No one was evicted from the area in the creation, as people that were already there were allowed to stay, and indigenous species were not kicked out, as at this point of time in history they were already gone or in few numbers surrounding the area. The Civilian Conservation Corps, or the CCC, was in charge of it in the beginning. However, over time it was given to the United States Forest Service for control, as well as shared with the Green Mountain Club of Vermont.
There are many threats in the Green Mountain National Park area. Some can be pollution, logging, dangers of climate change, but the main one is the emerald ash borer beetle, aka EAB. The EAB is native to Asia and was first detected in Michigan in 2002, suspected to come from the wooden crates used for shipping materials and goods. Since then, it has spread to 35 states. The history of bad lumber practices and companies not examining the lumber made it into shipping crates and products has spread it throughout the country. This threat is especially dangerous because of the type of tree that is being endangered. Tony D'Amato, director of the forestry program at the University of Vermont, even stated, "No other tree will be able to perfectly replace the ash tree in the forest. Their uniquely nutritious leaves fall to the forest floor, nourishing the animals living in the understory and altering soil. The large cavities that form in their trunks become homes for nesters, and their tall, abundant crowns provide cover for a wide range of forest animals." A less direct threat that's towards EAB is climate change. The EAB larvae do not survive well in temperature that drop below 0 degrees, so the harsh Vermont winters have been able to kill off over 60% of the larvae during these weather drops. However, as climate change is getting worse and the world is warming, the time that larvae have to hatch and spread is increasing every year, giving managers less time to respond to the threat. Then the underlying threat is government non-transparency. The United States Forest Service proposed changes to the National Environmental Policy Act, NEPA, implementing procedures would change the important decision-making tool by waiving requirements that the agency has to disclose what they're doing to the public and make an environmental threats review before going forward. This is dangerous for the fact that they're planning to clear-cut 15,000 acres for harvesting without checking the environmental impacts and any infestation of ash trees. This would give any tree that could be infested pretty much free range to infest wherever the United States Forest Service plans to bring that harvest lumber.
Because of the infestation of EAB, the United States Forest Service, as well as the different counties and management groups, have put in principles to try to slow the spread and infestation. One of these principles is restrictions on sale and use of ash logs and firewood. The group Vermont Forest Health has created slow the spread recommendations. These include buy local, sell local, so you make sure you're not buying any out-of-state logs that could bring infestation into your area, as well as restricting where you can sell your logs, as other states might have restrictions as well. An example of the long-term activity principle is the griddle trap tree surveys that the protected area implements. As survey crews usually rely on big holes and bark splinters to tell if there's an infestation, newly infested trees might not have these telltale signs. So therefore, griddle trap tree surveys were implemented. It's where the bark is peeled off all the way around the tree, which releases compounds into the air that attracted the EAB to that tree itself and not other ones around. They are an effective way of seeing infestation, as they can evaluate the amount of adults captured onto the tree to see if there is a new infestation happening in the area. It adds stresses and over time can kill the tree, so it's not likely to be used and they don't want to use it often. However, compared to other treatments, the griddle trap tree has attracted more EAB than all the rest.
In order to keep the public in the know of EAB issues, the Department of Forest, Parks, and Recreation has created a guideline for forest landowners. This informs the people of what the EAB is capable of damaging and what to do if in contact of trees that might be infested. It explains that EAB are experts at finding ash trees and can survive in harsh winters. It also states that the number one cause of EAB spreading is moving firewood. How one could tell if an area is infested is if woodpeckers are creating holes in live trees because they feed off the EAB, and if suspected, should be reported immediately to your closest FPR officer to prevent the spread.
That is the end of our case study on the Green Mountain National Forest of Vermont. Thank you for listening and have a great day.